All right, good evening. Thank you for staying all so late. I'm Niels. I'm going to talk about our company Woorank and how we more or less dismantled our monolith. So I'm the CTO. Oops. Okay, there we go. So I'm the CTO and co-founder of Woorank, and this is the team of brilliant people I get to work with all day. A bit of context, we're more or less 5 years old. We have 8 nationalities in our team, a total of 20 people. And we're quite a young team, meaning it's about 27 years on average. Now, what is Woorank? Woorank is a digital marketing tool, so a SaaS tool. We review websites, so you put in your URL, we try to generate a review. And on top of that, we also try to provide actionable tips and tricks. And then we, at the end, we give you a total score. Now, the score actually started out as some sort of a gimmick, but now people cannot live without it. So it's a challenge to keep the score always consistent and make sure it's up to date with the way the internet currently works. Within a review, we get about 100 criteria of data. Going from keywords, links, we get information from the amount of backlinks you have in Google, stuff like that, inbound metrics. We also monitor your activity on social networks, Twitter, Facebook, also Yelp, Foursquare, stuff like that. We dig a little deeper also into the technologies, at least the ones we can try to track. We measure the speed of your website, all sorts of stuff. Also give tips about what to do to improve the speed of your website. And then we also look at keywords that are important for your website, for your vertical or the topic your website is about. We monitor how they move through Google, through Bing, and other search engines. If you provide us with your analytics account, so you link it with your analytics account, we also gather that data and try to make more sense out of it and make it more easy to understand from a user perspective. We have about 50K visitors a day, both using our free tool and our paid tool, so the people subscribing. They generate more or less 800K reports per month, so 800K unique websites, unique URLs. And of all those people, 3,000 of them are active subscribers, so have actively provided their credit card details, and we have charged them at least once. We do that without any salespeople, so we have no sales team, we don't even have a phone, we don't call people. Everything is automated, so people come in, they subscribe, put in the credit card details, everything automated. There's no one in between that needs to sign a contract or whatever. We never took $1 of VC funding. That was a choice that we made from the beginning. We have been approached, we have been in talks with VCs, but we're not actively looking, so they won't provide us any money neither. So decision, I won't say we will never take any funding, but at the moment we're not looking into that direction. Same for ad spending. We never spend $1 on Google Ads or whatever ad network there is. Everything is, it's just all inbound traffic we get. And maybe a bit, special or different from other stories we've heard here today. We all do that from Belgium, so we have our headquarters are based in Brussels. So some of the more well-known startup mantras probably don't apply to us. That being said, less than 2% of our customer base is based in Belgium. So we get the most paying users in the US, in Brazil, in Spain, in India. So that's a nice thing with an internet SaaS company. You can be based somewhere and then sell your product somewhere entirely different. So that's the context. Now, yeah, I want to take you on a journey on how we achieved all of this and decisions we made, mistakes we made. So it all starts with an MVP, obviously. And how it all started was our founder was a freelance digital marketing consultant, or whatever you want to name it. He did consulting jobs for big companies, small companies, monitored how their brand was moving on the internet, how it appeared in Google, stuff like that. But he found that, well, the things he had to do were very repeatable. Like, he did the same thing over and over again for every new client. So he sought out, he went to conferences, that's where we met each other. And he said, well, I want to automate this. I'm not a technical guy, I'm looking for a technical guy. Let's hack something quickly together. And this is our very first version of what Woorank was. So very simple, the Google way, a bar to put in your URL, and a report that's being generated. Then this is what came out. So as you can see, it's a little bit different than the screenshots I showed earlier. Very rough, but it worked. So it worked for him. He could use this to go to his new clients. And we put it just out in the open so other people could probably find it and use it. We didn't have a pricing or a monetization strategy at all, but put a box there should people be interested. Now, with this tool, apparently, we kind of hit a nerve and we got TechCrunched. So it was really cool. We got coverage on TechCrunch, but being TechCrunched also has its repercussions. We went down, tried to bring the site back up, went down again. I guess I took this from the Internet Archive, but I think there were even more updates saying, okay, they're up, they're down, they're up, they're down. So basically it looked a bit like this. We had our server with our application, went down. We're hosted on Amazon. So we just took an AMI, booted a bigger server, very nice, but that typically took 15, 20, 30 minutes. And during that time we were really down. So that's why the updates on the TechCrunch article appeared. But by doing this, well, we went back up, but then we kind of understood or learned what journalism is all about, because apparently not every article is new and unique. Sites just pick up news from others and then republish it. So the same thing happened again, went down, took an AMI, bigger server, so repeat. Well, the storm went over, so we could go back to a smaller thing, just to save our costs. This was let's say the MVP stage. So we managed with our monolithic application to move from server to server when load went higher, and so on and so on. Then we could move to a next stage, being the growth stage. So we got a product up and running. We managed to move certain people to use it, some even daily. But how do we get more people to use this? How do we spread the word? So what we did was every review that gets generated into this free tool is indexed in Google. So this is a snapshot of today. We're having about 15 million pages indexed in Google now. Back then it was already a few hundreds of thousands. All those reports try to interlink to each other when they are in the same topic, the same area. People look for their websites, so our results appeared when they look for their websites. They go to the page. So Google is really our inbound marketing tool we use. Right now they pass by like 500,000 pages per day. And having a few seconds of downtime means thousands of pages that get missed. How does that look over time? So this is a snapshot of our Google Analytics. So in the beginning, the little peak there you see is the TechCrunch article we got. And then over time, we got quite a steady growth. And in the end, it even grows further. So we managed to acquire new visitors, but on the other hand, we also want people that use the tool or visited the tool to come back. So we also have to build new features. Now, as I said earlier, it was the monolithic app, so it kind of looked like this. Well, features were piling up on this application. The code got even clunkier, and it was already, even in the early stage, hard to work with. So quite early, even before the word microservices was cool, we already split out some applications out of this monolithic application. Because we call a lot of third-party services for their data. Some are slow, some are fast. We can't have them wait for each other. So we need to do things asynchronously, split out the slow parts, split out the parts that have a connection to a database, etc., etc. So this is a step we took quite early, and even today we're still quite happy with this choice we made. But later, more on this later. So this was the growth phase. We managed to grow through, can just quickly turn back, around 20 to 25K visitors a day. So it was quite nice. But also within this setup, the costs were going up. So somehow we needed to find a way to make money out of this. And we hated ads, probably like many other people. If I'm honest, we did try them, but it didn't work for us. So we quickly moved away from that scenario. So we needed to find a way to make money on our power users and still keep it free for the users that come occasionally and run a report. So the first version of our monetization strategy looked a bit like this. So we found out that our power users, we did some research on that. Our agencies, marketing consultants like our founder, web companies, stuff like that. And we knew that, well, if they want to go to their clients or their prospects with a report, well, it can't say Woorank on top. So we created a white label tool where they could upload their logo, add some of their own texts, photos, to make it something of their own. So a white labeled export of a report. In terms of revenue, it kind of looked like this. Well, kind of, no. This is what it looked like. It's an extract from our payment provider. So there was a nice growth, and it's really fun to start something and then quite immediately get a few $1,000s being paid by people for something you built with your own hands. So that was really cool. But as you can see, well, we were back three co-founders. This doesn't pay the bill. There's servers, there's our salaries. If at that time it was still a side project, but anyway, if you wanted to go full on for it, this wouldn't cut the bill. So we decided, okay, we're going to need a bigger boat. So we said, okay, we resigned from our job so we can put our full focus 100% on this thing. We gave ourselves 6 months to come up with a better idea, and we also hired, so we went to friends, family to get some money and hired one extra developer. And somewhere around 6 months later, we had this newer setup where we said, okay, for the occasional users, we put a hard boundary saying, okay, they can run one free report per week. And people that are paying us, they can run unlimited reports when they take a plan, when they pay. Pricing is more or less like this. So just for unlimited use, it was $49. If you want unlimited PDFs to be generated, the white label system I mentioned earlier, it's $149. Now, we were a bit afraid because this was going to be our make or break strategy. We expected a huge backlash, but it didn't. Actually, we hockey sticked. So the power users were indeed willing to pay up for what they use daily or regularly. And in terms of just overall visits, free and paying, there was a little down, but not really a drop. So yeah, the decision we made was quite a good one. But obviously, people, or yeah, some free users still wanted their free lunches. So we had Firefox and Chrome extensions. So in these comment systems or reviews, we got some bad reviews. But overall, people were willing to pay, were okay, and understood the fact that we also had to pay bills and would pay up for this tool. So that gave us some runway. Getting some money faster. So yeah, we also felt, and yeah, it's quite obvious that when people use for your, when people pay for using your service, they expect it to work all the time, and they should. So we needed to find or to grow our team a bit, to do customer support, to develop new features, to maintain the features we already have. So yeah, we started hiring. Now there is this famous or infamous startup mantra saying hire fast but fire faster. Well, said no one ever in Belgium, because in Belgium that's just an HR nightmare. Hiring people is very expensive, is very exhausting. Just to give you an idea, I think roughly out of the 10 people we interview, 1 gets hired. So you have to see a lot of people to just do 1 hire. Firing on the other side, yeah, when you hire someone, at least they have to stay at least, or you have to still keep them in your company for 1.5 months, if I'm correct. So if you hire someone, you want to be damn sure that it's a good one. You don't have to hire, you don't have to fire him or her. So for tech profiles, we never look at resumes, CVs. We purely look at GitHub. We meet people at meetups, at hackathons. We go in our network, we ask for recommendations, so we really do our homework when we hire someone. We also do developer challenges, stuff like that. And for now, it kind of worked out for us. Over the past 5 years, we managed to only lose 4 people, which is a shame, but on the other hand, out of 20 people, yeah, people tell us that that's a good number, and we fired 0 people. Then in terms of scale, so yeah, teams are growing, the product is growing. So we need to provide our people, our team, with the tools so they can self-manage themselves. As I said, we have a microservice oriented tool of all pieces of software that do one thing really well. They are owned by at least 2 people, so they take ownership and responsibility for their microservice, or they have a few of them. Teams form around those services, so everything is self-managed. They can define their own tooling, their own language, coding language, testing strategies. They have to deploy everything themselves. Obviously, within a certain context, we set a few boundaries, not to just have a wild grown of things. We prefer writing open source code and having closed source configuration of your business logic. And yeah, overall, this helps us to easier isolate issues. Also, microservices own their own databases, so we can play with databases, try new. It's yeah, a good way of prototyping things. But it's not all rainbows and unicorns. New challenges appear with microservices versus monoliths. Services have to find each other. There's messaging between them. So in reality, it might look like this. And to make matters worse, well, you have your production environment, test QA, developers have their machines. So to keep parity within bounds, it's not that easy. And yeah, from time to time you get things like, well, it worked on my machine, and yeah, now it's not my problem anymore. So we started looking into a better way of managing that, and started looking for something that where we can divide development efforts over operational efforts. So we looked for cluster managers where we could just deploy applications, and when when servers go down, the application get just rebooted onto another server. So our servers become just a pool of resources and are not bound to an application or a service. It also improves our utilization, because one application can be deployed, or one server can deploy many applications. So we could throw away a lot of our servers, and this really helped us to make that boundary between development and operational efforts. And how we did that exactly is with Docker and Mesos. Few talks have been done today or yesterday, I don't know, about these things. So definitely check them out. Even if you're early, it really pays off to work with these kinds of tools. Then monitoring is another important thing, which we were historically not very good at. And if I had to do it all over again, I would invest way earlier in good tooling around that. So we have third-party providers for application logging. In this case, it's our front-end access log. So the tool's called log entries. All logs are sent to it. We can filter on things, add tags, and so on and so forth. It's a really great tool that you can provide to your team to see what's going on within their applications, within their services. Then we also built our own monitoring around things like our customer support, how many hours a client has to wait as soon as he sends us a question and we reply back to him with an answer. This kind of tooling really helps us to improve our customer support. So this is built on top of Elasticsearch and Kibana. It's pulled out of the emailing system our customer support team uses. But monitoring also has one danger. Always be skeptic about your assumptions, and make sure you get the right answers from your data, and not just make assumptions very boldly, like this funny thing that compares Nicolas Cage films versus pool drownings or something like that. So know what you want to monitor and what answers you want to get from your monitoring, from your data. And then finally, so as the story evolved, we're reaching the current state. Well, something you have to do constantly, obviously, because it's a SaaS product. We work on the internet. Things change. The market change. People change, and most of all, our company changes. 3 people versus 5 people versus 20 people. It's always a different kind of company. So currently what we're looking at is, the internet is a stream of things. So we're moving more to a system where reports are not just generated by user anymore, but are constantly updated, is constantly the new data you get when you insert a URL, a website into our system. And to do that, we are looking to tools like Spark and Storm. And by doing that, we hope to be able to provide real-time alerts to users saying, okay, this thing has moved for your website, this is wrong, you need to fix this. And maybe even, if we dig a little deeper into our data, make predictions about what will happen in the future for them. And to close everything up, I just wanted to end with a quote by Brad Feld, kind of famous VC. And he says that while building a team around your product, you as an owner, a founder, a CEO, a CFO, whatever, you can't motivate people. The only thing you can do is create a context in which people are motivated. And I think that for us is a quote we live by, is very important to build a great team like this. Thank you.